Hi, welcome back to Real Auto Reports. I'm Jonathan McGrew, and today we have the 2013 Beetle. It's not the new Beetle, it's just the Beetle again. And this isn't just any Beetle, it's the TDI, so this is your turbo diesel. We're going to give you the real first impressions video of this car, so let's check it out. From the front, what you're going to notice about the Beetle in its new skin is that it is lower, wider, maybe more elongated, and it's got this sense of being more aggressive in its styling, more masculine. If you look at the front bumper, it's no longer a soft curve all the way around the front. You've got these kind of angles built into it. And then, of course, this lovely chrome accent strip down in the lower air dam. Of course, the Beetle still has a fun and soft personality with the big round headlights, something you don't see on a ton of cars anymore, these single round headlights. And it gives it a friendly personality while still being a little more masculine than the previous generation. Also notice that the mirrors have the turn signal indicators in them, and generally this can still be identified as a Beetle from far, far away. From the side, what you can see is this difference between the current generation Beetle, this new redesigned version, and the previous generation. The front end is going to be more elongated, the roofline is going to be more chopped, and the whole car has a sense of being longer. Where you really see a big difference is in the roofline structure and in the windshield. Notice that the windshield seems more angular and seems that the transition to how the top curves around to the back is a lot more abrupt and more angular. The whole car has a lower, more aggressive stance than the previous generation did, and it's really gives this car a different personality, one that a lot of people have seemed to engage with, especially when we first took this car out on the street. It got a lot of comments, and they were pretty positive. From the rear, if you had to criticize this redesigned Beetle from any angle, it might be from this side. It's interesting to me that the taillights are so large in this version of the Beetle. They seem to be, or at least give the impression when you first look at it, that they're really large and they overpower the rear design here, more so than the previous generation. The other thing that's interesting is that VW has gone to this all one color tail light, the all red back here. So there's really no amber designations either, which is not unusual in the US and not unusual for a lot of the German cars that we've seen, including the BMW. It just seems that the detail and the sculpting in the back here isn't as maybe pleasing as it was on the previous generation, but all in all, it does come together well. And I guess people are really looking at the side and front more, unless you're zooming past them and leaving them in the dust. From the driver's seat, if we had to talk about what is best about this new Beetle, or, well, they don't want us to call it the new Beetle because that's what they called it last time, but this redesigned Beetle, the interior is a real winner. I really fell in love with how they've redesigned this interior. I like this flat dashboard. I like the fact that they have shortened the area of the dashboard from the front of the windshield to where you actually have the drop off and the waterfall of the dashboard into the color that matches the outside of the car. This particular car is in the denim blue on the outside and inside, as you can see here. This car does not have navigation, but it does have the dual clutch automatic transmission that you can see the shifter there. It also has that cute glove compartment right there in the front of the dash, as well as another glove compartment on the lower portion. It is a neat vehicle, and it feels really good inside, especially for $25,000 or thereabouts. Under the hood, what you're going to find in this 2013 Beetle that we are testing is the TDI, the 2-liter 140 horsepower 236 foot-pounds of torque, and that's a lot of torque coming out of a little car. 4-cylinder turbo diesel, and this is the clean diesel engine. Now, what is interesting about this car is, of course, the gas mileage. You're going to get 29 miles per gallon in town, 39 out on the highway, and the EPA estimates that results in a 32 mpg combined rating. They also say that over 5 years you'll save about $2,600 by driving this car, and the annual fuel cost when this Moroni sheet was printed is about $1,800, or at least that's what they're estimating. It is a good engine. It has good power off the line, even though it is a diesel. Though you are going to see that this motor will peter out as you get into the upper RPMs. Hitting the road in the 2013 Beetle TDI actually surprised me from a first impressions perspective. It drives well, it has good weight in the steering, you feel like you really know where the car is going as you're going down the road, and it has that precision of being a German engineered car. Couple that to the TDI with the good power off the line and the real lack of turbo lag that you might expect from a vehicle like this, and it makes for a pleasurable experience. It's something that you could live with every day. The suspension is good at dampening the bumps in the road. And the other thing that's interesting is that this car is very competitive to other vehicles we've tested here on our YouTube, like the Hyundai Elantra Coupe, the Kia Soul, and the Fiat 500 even. It's a car that you can really rely on to be competitive not only in performance, but give you excellent fuel economy. So the driving experience from a first impressions perspective is pretty positive. So that's the real first impressions video of the 2013 Volkswagen Beetle TDI. This car is about $25,000 as tested, and the new looks really do set it apart from the new Beetle that was released over a decade ago. We think it's a pretty cool car, but we definitely need to go more in depth. So join us for the real review coming up very shortly here on Real Auto Reports. I'm Jonathan McGrew, and we'll see you down the road.